Yo, whatever happened to my intro? Whatever happened to my long ass old intro, man? Y'all want me to bring that shit back? If not, let me know, man. Let me know what y'all think of my old intro. So for those of y'all who actually stuck around from a minute ago, but for now, y'all can see these sniper shots from long range on these mother. Look at that! Look at that! It may have taken me like 30 shots, but I got him. I got him. I. Anyway, guys, I got a topic that I want to talk about. It's not about Battlefield. You notice I put a lot of Battlefield gameplay in my backgrounds, but I never really talk about it. That's because there ain't no need to talk about it. The only time I talk about it is when I'm mad. so I just refrain from talking about it. But there's a topic I wanted to talk about for a while. You see that Levolution? Somebody got Levolution. Somebody got Levolution. Sure as hell wasn't me. But like, I did want to talk about Nintendo for a while, and before y'all start thinking that I'm gonna start bashing on Nintendo, I want to talk to you guys about why I don't play Nintendo games. And like just stick around long enough and you'll understand my reasoning. Look at this shit. I suck so bad. I can't even hit this dude. I can't get him. I can't get him. He's laying down. I still can't get him. Look at that. Hold on. I got his legs there. I got his face. I shot his gun. I still can't get him. But back to Nintendo, man. So, like, growing up back, like, I was born in the 80s and all that. I was born in 85. So growing up, like, I was real heavy into Nintendo, into the NES, the Super NES, not just that, but other systems. But I'm staying on topic this time for once. So I was real heavy into that, the Mortal Kombat on Nintendo, the Mario games, the Mario Kart, the Donkey Kong, the Yoshi games, all that. The Zelda, definitely the Zelda. You can't even say Nintendo without saying Zelda and all those other games. So, and to me, like, those were like the really fun games, they were awesome as a kid, they was the things that made you want to turn on your system. You wanted to come home extra early, finish watching that episode of Pokemon, and y'all remember Pokemon. You teach me, I'll teach. Alright, I ain't even gonna sing for y'all, but but that was a Pokemon though. I mean, and you look at this shit. This dude, like, how you get into the helicopter? Don't even know how to fly, crash into a tree, and that shit just blew up, right? There you go. Shit just blew up because you don't know how to fly the damn thing. But I digress. And so, headshot. So, yeah, so you couldn't wait to finish watching that episode of Pokemon, putting that Nintendo on, and playing your favorite game. And I love that about it. I loved everything about my Nintendo and Super Nintendo, and my brother actually has a Nintendo and a Super Nintendo right now at his house. Every time I go over there, I smash on him on Mario Bros and all that. We put on Mario Kart, I smash him on that. He knows some things I don't know, but he a lot older dude than I am, so it's funny though. But it's fun to have that, especially as a kid. Those were your first video game systems. Now, why don't I follow Nintendo anymore? This is where we get to the part where I have to make sure that I word this properly. If not, I'll have the whole entire YouTube community come down on me left and right, you know what I mean? Because you can't really just talk trash about Nintendo and not expect to get, a few people coming down on you, Now, with Nintendo, I realized that, even though I grew with Nintendo, eventually I grew out of Nintendo and it didn't grow with me. Now, not to say that Nintendo is all childish and all this other stuff or whatever, not making fun of Nintendo in any way. I'm simply saying that while my interests changed in the type of games that I was looking forward to, Nintendo it no longer pleased those interests. And I understand that a lot of people saying, oh, all you do is play first-person shooters and this and that, and if it doesn't have a gun and violence and all this, then you don't want to play it. And that's not true. To be honest, there's a bunch of games that I played that, like, are probably indie games on PC or just random games that the Xbox would have on its arcade system. And a lot of those games don't even have first-person shooters. And there this guy goes again with his damn flying. I mean, this dude needs flying lessons, but anyway, like, I play a lot of games other than first-person shooters. It's just I don't really record them and all that because I just don't like to take the time to do all that. But primarily, my biggest thing with Nintendo was just that it no longer gave me the things that I wanted. I no longer found these games to be fun. That's not to say that they're not fun. I just didn't find them that way anymore. And as a fan of Nintendo, I'm not necessarily like, this is the thing though. Like, you might misunderstand this if you hear it wrong. But as a fan of Nintendo growing up as a kid, I'm not disappointed in them. Even though I don't buy Nintendo stuff anymore, I don't buy the Wii, the Wii U, the 3DS, I don't buy it, you know, and I don't play it. Even though I don't support them financially, I still support them as a gamer, you know, as a father. Like, my son has a 3DS, and, you know, I bought him the Donkey Kong game and all this other stuff, and he loves the thing, you know. And to me, like, that, it's a big deal to me, because my son is growing up on pretty much on the same thing I grew up when I was a kid. Maybe a little bit more flashier and pretty and sexy and all that than when I was a kid. I mean, he don't got the 8-bit games and all that or whatever, you know, or the 2-button system where you only had 2 buttons, and if it couldn't do it with those 2 buttons, it was just not possible. You know, back in those days, that's all you had, those 2 buttons. You had start and select. Nobody knew what select was for. Nobody knew what select was for at all. There was no possible way of you finding out what select was about but the start button though. I think the only reason that select was around was so that you could do like some like infinite like life or something, some cheat code in Contra and Double Dragon or something. That's about it. In all Konami games, anybody remember Konami? In all Konami games, those are the only games that you would use select for, and that's to do the cheat code. So, and I think you could also use something like that in Mortal Kombat for the blood, because initially it didn't start out with blood. Then all of a sudden they came out with a cheat code that let you have blood. I don't even know why they put in a cheat code. I guess they didn't want the parents to see it in the options. But I mean, those were the fun days when you had to go above and beyond. I think that's where a lot of hackers maybe came from, like people who wanted to relive those moments, like people who wanted to, you know, be the dude to unlock the blood code and all this other stuff, and you know, infinite lives and all those fun stuff that you got as a kid that you could only find in magazines and things like that. And I've been a fan of video games since forever, so for me to say that I hate Nintendo, and I know in previous episodes I may have said something along the lines of I wish Nintendo would die and all that, and you know, and like I accept that I said stuff like that, because it takes a lot of deliberation, and after a lot of conversating with people who in the YouTube community, like, you know, I would comment on something that IGN would leave or somebody else would leave, and they would be talking about Nintendo in some way, and you can see the passion of these dudes, and some of them are a lot younger than me. You know, some of them didn't even experience Nintendo. They maybe got the back end or the middle end of the Super Nintendo, and you know, they're talking about, look at that kill shot from the kneecap. But some of them experienced that at the back end of the Super Nintendo. And honestly, like, as a gamer, as somebody who grew up in the 80s and 90s and all that, and got to play these early games and, you know, seeing the whole evolution of video games, I really, like, you know, I enjoy the fact that a lot of this is, you know, that Nintendo is still around, that my son can enjoy it, that hopefully, like, my grandkids will enjoy it, you know. I hope Nintendo is around that long. Like, it's sad to see these other companies that went down. Sega tried, you know, I think they still have some involvement in video games. It's just not a major involvement, but they're still putting games and stuff out there. And, you know, it's awesome to see that Nintendo could made it this long. And they're still trying to not just, like, put out, you know, whatever other people want. They're putting out what they want, what their fans have always wanted. You know, they're putting out their Nintendo games, their Zelda, their Donkey Kong, Mario. They're putting these games out because that's what they've wanted to do from the very beginning. You know, they haven't sold their soul yet, as far as I see. And that's a very remarkable thing in video gaming. So, shouts out to Nintendo, man. All kind of gaming, everybody else. I love Xbox, PC, PlayStation. I'll hopefully get to it sometime when they lower the price. I don't want to be broke just yet. But anyway, man, it's your boy, DrMcNasteeKE. KE. Let me know what you guys think. Hit that like, comment, subscribe. You already know. And I'm out. Brr! So cold out here.